By the 1970s, Saudi Arabia had become increasingly aware of the strategic importance of its natural resource. It started to negotiate for the ownership of ARAMCO. At the same time, the Arab-Israeli conflict was brewing without resolution.
The tension in the Middle East was brewing indeed. However, I don't think that we fully recognized how much it was brewing. We tended to downplay the statements that came out of the Middle East, and most notably the letter that was received from King Faisal. And that letter said, you must do something about the Palestinian problem, or there will be a deterioration. And we tended to think that that was just some more hot air on the part of the king.
In October 1973, another Arab-Israeli war broke out. Despite the tension, the Arab attack on Israel was a total surprise. In the first day, the Egyptian and Syrian armies had gained considerable ground.
The Israelis pressed us with regard to the running down of their supplies. And the administration did not wish to be seen to be responsible for the collapse of Israel. The Arab states, Syria and Egypt, were armed with Soviet weapons. The president took the view that we do not want to see a triumph of Soviet weaponry over American weaponry, and ultimately we began to ship supplies to Israel.
In the midst of the war, the U.S. began airlifting supplies to Israel. Under pressure from the Arab League, King Faisal acted.
I got the phone call the morning after the airlift, and asked to come to Riyadh to see the king as soon as I could, which meant now. And the king was furious about this. He saw no way to do anything but to boycott. I said to him, I just really don't see how you're going to do it. And the king just simply said, you are going to do it.
Faisal ordered Aramco to stop pumping. Oil became scarce. Prices quadrupled, and the shock sent world economies reeling. President Nixon sent his Secretary of State Kissinger on an urgent mission to Saudi Arabia.
Some people thought, because of my Jewish background, that would be a handicap in conducting Middle East diplomacy.
Kissinger raised with me the question whether the fact that he was Jewish might affect Faisal. And I had to tell him that it might. But I said, you have to remember also that he feels we have in the past, on a good many occasions, after having made commitments to him, let him down. So you better be sure that what you say to him that we may do, we intend to do.
He was very austere looking, very sharp features, and it was a very long room. And I had to walk that whole room towards him with his black-robed advisors standing there. It was a beautiful scene. But I must say, he treated me with extraordinary courtesy.
There was no light conversation, there were no jokes, there was no humor, and all in all it was fairly tense. But the meeting went I think probably as well as could be expected. Both of them saw that the other wasn't wearing horns.
President Nixon was eager for me to raise the embargo. King Faisal really wanted to talk more about the peace process in the Middle East. He made it pretty clear that he couldn't lift the embargo until there was some progress towards peace.